Should be the same one. All right. What is up? What is up, everybody? How is everybody doing?
All good, all good. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
It's a long time coming, my man.
Yeah. Things seem to come up and when you're really busy, but glad it's actually able to happen now.
Right? I was gonna say life happens to everybody. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, life, stay lifing.
Oh, we've already got pickle problems. Look at this.
Sarite.
Oh,
Hola.
somebody's using the neon. That is my favorite logo. That variation right there is my favorite.
Now, my stand will just cooperate with me.
Appreciate you, Utah. All right, let's get her moving.
There we are.
Pickles, how about we do our introductions for everybody? Well, three of us we already know, but Savannah.
Well, hola. Tonight we have go time. How about you give us a little bit of intro on yourself, bro?
All right, well, hello everybody in the bowling helpers and bowlers world. My name is Go Time, aka Dwight. If you're wondering where the name Go Time came from, well, I am from the South. I am from New Orleans. Literally love New Orleans, love the food, love the culture. Family's from there, so Go Time just kind of seemed like a name I came up with, so it just kind of stuck. But as far as me as a bowler, because this is the bowling channel, I have been bowling for about 30 years. On and off. I mean, it's been a while. I started when I was 10. Wasn't my first love. It was technically my second. First love was basketball. Military brat, so I started off bowling overseas in Aviano Air Force Base. It was a 16-lane house. We had just got synthetic lanes, and it was like the new fad. So we had the new lanes, synthetics, and all that. From there, it just grew into something that I became passionate about and love to do. I'm also the creator of Stream Bowling. If I'm pretty sure you've seen that around quite a bit. That is basically a online challenge deal. It's like a platform where we do all type of challenges online that any bowler can face anybody. And we normally divide everybody off into divisions. We don't do handicap. So it's normally a divisional type thing, but sometimes we do have everybody mix in just to show that it's more of a mindset thing. So we really push having the right mindset in bowling that can help you achieve whatever that you want to achieve. And we've seen some incredible results. On top of that, I'm also the owner and creator of RevTech Pro Bowling Cleaner. So that got approved just last year. It's going on a year being actually USBC approved. It's actually one of the best cleaners out there, in my opinion. But don't just ask me; ask the many people that use it. It's great. I just came up with it in my garage and was like, hey, this seemed like it'll work. And no, my wife was like, you should get that approved. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna do that, and I'm approved. Also a USBC certified coach. And the list just goes on and on. I'll be talking for days, but that's just me in a nutshell.
How long did it take you to get that actually approved?
So there was some mix-up in communication between me and the actual USBC approval process. It took longer than what it should have. It, for most people, it maybe takes about a month and a half, maybe two. Mine's, I think it took almost 3 months because there was just some mix-up somewhere that where they just didn't get through. But once I finally started emailing them a lot and pushing, then that's when I got my response back. And then when I did get the response, it was kind of surreal because I didn't even know what my wife was talking about. She said, "Oh, your stuff was approved," and I was like, "What are you talking about? What stuff?" I had like left it alone. It's like, okay, it'll get approved when it get approved. It's like your stuff. I'm like, and I went and looked at the email, and sure enough, they gave me the logos and everything to put on my logo, and said, "Here you go. It is now approved." And it shows each level for plastic, resin, and urethane how it affects the ball. It has to be within a certain tolerance, and then as long as it's within that tolerance, it'll be approved for as a cleaner.
Nice.
That's the part that gets most of the people trying to get approved on the cleaner all discombobulated and kerfuffled because they don't understand there's different cleaning grades for different textures of the bowling ball.
Yeah, they tested on each one, which I didn't know that until I got the results back. I thought they just tested it on resin. No, but they tested on plastic, resin, and urethane, and it has to be within I think like a point, like 1 point or 2 point something percent tolerance to where it alters the ball that much. It can't go no further than that, and if it does, then it's not approved.
That is, and I swear to God, this was just a coincidence. I'm wearing your competition's jersey.
Oh, it's no problem. I mean, I'm part of CTDs myself. It's one of the first staffing companies that I actually decided to go with. Didn't participate much in it. I mean, I didn't buy the cleaners. And the main reason why was because I would see some of the cleaners and they'll say, "Oh, use like that purple stuff." It'll be, "Oh, spray this on and it'll hook more." And then, but you're watching the shot and it's two different shots. And I was like, okay, I don't know if that really works. I can't you can't go off of two different shots and say this thing actually works. So I never did buy it.
Yeah, that was also why they went ahead and did that wow factor and on top of that purple stuff, because once the rule change happened, they had to come out with a stronger formula because the purple stuff was literally designed to be used every shot, which is now illegal. Yeah. So now they had to come out with a stronger formulation that you use before and or after play to get the surface clean. And I promise you, I'm on Stream Bowling's page.
Yeah.
I start Winter League tomorrow. So starting this week, I will be more active in the stream page.
Oh, we look forward to it, man. That's a great commitment. We're going to have some interesting new challenges for you guys as well. But it's funny you said something about the wow factor because in this whole process of becoming an actual bowling ball cleaner and owner myself, I learned that the wow factor is not actually CTDs. It is actually a company called that wow factor, and CTD just happened to say, "Oh, well, let's put it under our label." Because I was looking for all their cleaners that were approved, and they didn't come up under CTD. CTD cleaners come up under CTD. Wow factor comes up under that wow factor, and I thought that was very interesting. I was like, "Why is that?" So if you know it doesn't matter, business is business. You got to do what you got to do.
Right.
Well,
Maya,
and just
Maya asked a question.
Yes.
She says, "Does it alter the cover of the ball?"
So all cleaners alter the cover of the ball. Is how much does it alter? My cleaner doesn't alter it very much, but what my cleaner does, which is called RevTech Pro, is any surface that you have it at, whether it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,004 polish, is going to give you that tacky new feel every single time you clean it. And you're going to get a reaction as if that ball came at that surface. So some people who don't really know that you have, your surface changes as you use the ball. It may start as 2,000, but then eventually it goes up. Like on CTD, they show it all the time. It goes up with use to 4,000. Eventually, it levels out at that point, and then you start losing some reaction, and you get that. Well, RevTech Pro kind of prevents that. It's like strike juice in a bottle. What it does is literally just cleans the ball, makes it extra tacky, gets in the pores because it's especially formulated to get in the pores and get the oil out, and it just helps improve the performance of the ball wherever it's at. Every ball cleaner has some issues with, like if you have a belt mark, which the alley I bowl at now has a huge problem with belt marks, and it gets them off of there. but you still can see that if it's deep enough, you still see it in there. You have to take a sanding pad to get it out. My stuff, RevTech Pro, works even better with a sanding pad, which I learned that from one of my testers. He was like, "Man, if you do this with a sanding pad, it works even better." And I'm like, "Really?" And went and tried it myself, and man, it cleans the hell out of the ball. It cleans it out real good. So RevTech Pro, all cleaners alter the surface to answer that question, but RevTech Pro actually helps maintain that like new reaction by keeping the pores clean. And then whatever finish you have it at, that's how it's going to be back. So if you change the surface, you're going to get a different type of reaction, but you know that your ball is going to be clean.
Yeah, that's one of the big problems that I have with one of the cleaners. I won't say which one, just out of respect for Ron and his company. But one of them, you put it on a polished ball, and it cracks that polish.
Yeah. I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but I've heard some people say some. I've heard some words out there in the cleaner world about certain things about the not. I don't give no comment or speculation. I'm like, look, I've never used it. I use my own stuff, so that's where I'm at with the cleaners. I make my own cleaner, I sell it, and I just use my own stuff. But there is one cleaner I know for sure that it actually alters it. It actually puts a film on the ball, which is technically supposed to be illegal, but it's still.
Yeah.
So USBC has some things they got to work out when it comes to the approval process, but no, I know for a fact that RevTech Pro, with a lot of the people that I have tested and selling it to, they don't use anything else.
Tiffany asks, where can we find RevTech?
So RevTech Pro is actually, I have my own website. It's revtechpro.com. I'll go ahead and type it in there, and you can place your orders there. I'm actually in a pro shop in Indiana. I can't remember the name of the pro shop, but I actually got into one of those there. I'm working on the second pro shop in Indiana. I'm actually pretty popular up there than I thought I would be. But goal is really to get into more pro shops and get more people aware of the website so they can just place their order and try it out. And I do sell it in two different sizes, an 8-ounce and a 2.7, which is a travel size. $20 and I think, $10 plus shipping. But overall, most people buy the 20-ounce because want it lasts longer, because once you do use this stuff, you're not going to want to use anything else, and you're going to want to clean your ball, which was the whole goal of creating it in the first place, is creating something that people are going to want to use, because keeping your ball clean is the number one thing in keeping your performance. Instead of just going and buy a new ball, keep it clean.
And my other big question is, how long was this in development before you got it to a legitimate, like, prototype product?
So, truthfully, about a month.
Really?
It took me about a month to create it. I'm kind of a alchemist when it comes to certain things and how certain cleaners work. And basically, I just started with research and looking at what things are approved and what things aren't. And I just started from there, like, because of course all of our cleaners are made of different mix of chemicals. Well, I didn't want to put a chemical in it that was illegal, so I went through the whole list of everything that was possibly illegal to use on a bowling ball and inked all those out, and just started looking at certain things that were different, certain things that might have not been used, and just started mixing a couple things together. I think my first batch that I made, it was all right. It cleaned, but it didn't give me the reaction I was looking for. And then about the third batch I made, it just was like magic. I actually put it on my Power Torque, which was one of the balls that I had tested it on. And when I first got the ball 707 out the box, after that, it just kind of went downhill. It didn't react. And I had not used that ball in like 6 months. And my friend Peyton could testify to this. And then I had cleaned it one night before league, water removal, and I was out of options. I was like, well, let me just go ahead and try that ball. I just cleaned it with the RevTech Pro. And 267.
Nice.
I was like, he was like, you don't even use that ball. I'm like, I know I don't. He was like, what did you do? I just cleaned it. And from there, I was like, okay, I'm really on to something. So started practicing more with it and started fine tuning it more and fine tuning the different mixtures and stuff. And voila, I came up with the final product, RevTech Pro, and then sent that off to USB-C.
So
That's
Maya also asked, will it help to restore ball back to box finish or near? And then Craig wants to know, do you have a website?
Yes, I have put the website right above you, Craig, revtechpro.com. Now, as far as putting back the box, that requires you to use sanding pads. You cannot use any type of chemical cleaner to get it back to box. That's impossible and probably very illegal. The only thing I think that does that is acetone, and that is illegal because it makes the ball too soft. So I would recommend if you were to try the product is get a sanding pad, get your normal pad that you normally use it with, spray it on the pad, and rub it on the ball. Get all sides. Normally you do different quadrants. I do half and then half and then half, and sometimes I do quarter, quarter, quarter. Get the ball real good, but keep spraying it on there and going around. What you're going to see is it foams up. And as it foams up, it's getting that dirt and getting that oil out of the ball because, like I said, there's an additive that I put in it that actually helps remove oil. Like oil and this additive don't get along. So either the additive is going to stay or the oil's got to go. One of the two is going to happen. So you're going to see a lot of foam. And then once you actually wipe all that foam off, you're going to see your ball is going to be very dull and it's going to be at that finish that you wanted at. But that depends on the person. Some people might like 2,000 finish on their ball. Some people might like 4,000. It doesn't matter what finish it is. Spray it on the pad, clean the ball with it, and it's going to help clean the ball and help with the surface. No, there's no true way to maintain the surface without changing the surface of the ball. I don't know if that'll be illegal because that means if the ball was to stay at 2,000 for a very long time, I don't know how that will work. I don't think they've figured that out just yet. I think the closest to figuring that out is Motive with the Evoke. And that one holds its finish for a pretty long time for us to go up. So that's ball design. That's not really cleaner, but the cleaner will definitely help maintain the performance wherever it's at. So if you like it with polish, cleaning with the polish on there, it's going to maintain that performance. Same thing with 4,000 down to 1,000. You like that finish, clean it with it on there, it's going to help you maintain that reaction no matter what surface it's at.
That's good.
Oops, I didn't hit the .com.
But I'll type it in there again so you can see it. I don't know if you saw it, but there you go, RevTech Pro.
I was going to say, I was trying to hit .com and it went full send on me.
There we go.
Do you have a personal preference when it comes to what you throw? Are you brand specific by any means?
No, I am not brand loyal. I learned from a very early age, probably 15 years or so, that it's not great to stick to one brand unless that brand has everything you need as far as reaction. But no, I am not brand loyal. I call it function loyal. Whatever works, that's what I use. I've used Swag, I've used Storm, I've used Brunswick B7. The only brand I have not thrown to this day, I believe, is Track. I think that's the only ball I haven't thrown. I've thrown all of them. I've literally thrown everything except for the ones you maybe never heard of. But yeah, Track I think is the only one I haven't thrown. But I do not have a loyalty to anybody because I think it boxes you in unless that brand has everything that you need to cover all the bases when you go to a tournament or go to leagues. That's the only way I will be brand loyal. But I haven't seen that yet from most companies. Some have a good range, but I haven't seen it to where I would just commit myself to one. Because I started off with Brunswick. Like when I first started bowling, I had a Brunswick lineup. Not even a pro, just a regular urethane Brunswick. Yeah. And then from there, I think my next ball was a Storm. I think it was a Storm Eraser Boost. It was like the purple one. And then I did Storm for a minute, but then I also had an Ebonite Gyro, which was a red one. I almost won a tournament with that one. And then as I started buying my own equipment, it was a mix of Storm. There was a lot of Storm for a while, but then it started going Storm, then Columbia 300, Deviate, and then it just got to where it was like, okay, I'm doing research on a ball. I'm just gonna go with what works. So right now, my bag has Radical, Storm. I got rid of my only swag ball, which I didn't. It wasn't bad. It's just I didn't find a use for it anymore for the house, so I got rid of that. But I think currently I have Storm, Radical, Deviate, Hammer, and there's something else that I have that I'm forgetting. I know I'm forgetting something else. So my goal basically is find what works and look at the numbers, look at the surface, how does it compare, and do I see it fitting in my bag?
Well, since
Yeet.
since since we're kind of on the topic, let's chit chat about what are your thoughts on this urethane possibility ban?
I think that some people are butthurt because urethane is ultimately a tool. What I don't like about urethane is it's not the urethane itself, it's the people who don't know how to use it. That is my biggest pet peeve with urethane is it's not the tool itself. It's people using it. I've seen countless people throw a urethane ball. Oh, the lanes are dry. Let's throw a urethane. And it's like your hand goes on your head. Like, what are you thinking? It needs oil. It hooks early. It's not for dry lanes. It's for
Right.
short conditions. That's different. That is very different. And the people who try to banter it and do everything about it is like make it seem like it's a bad thing. I think they're wrong because it's like you're hurting the people who can use it. Because there's a guy down here named Juan Costin. He's a very good left-handed two-hander. Dude threw that purple urethane for about a year straight, and I mean averaging 240. Couldn't miss with it. Why are we hurting people like him or potentially hurting people like him who can use it? No, it should be more along the lines of, hey, if you don't know how to use it, put it up. If you do, by all means. Because if I'm on the right side, which I'm assuming all are right-handers, I'm guessing. Maybe
Except
not
for
all.
Steve.
The long lefty. Lucky you. Being on the right side, we can use that carry down. No, the problem is not everybody recognizes when carry down is happening. So what happens is you get lost in the transition and it's like, oh, you messed up the lane because you made carry down. You threw yours. No, if he kept throwing it in the right spot, by all means, carry the because that means I get to stay right. I get to stay right longer. So if you have people that know how to use it like that, like they do at the national championships, no, they use urethane as a tool to transition the lane. By all means, it works. But I think most people don't understand what it's for. So therefore, there's a hate for it because somebody out there, maybe professional, hated it. So now all these other people are hating it and raising up a stink about it. I don't honestly, in my opinion, I didn't vote for it to be banned. I voted for maybe some stricter regulations on it because some people are desperate. Some people might do things like soak it in acetone and make it softer. You never know because people just do whatever they can to win these days. But at the same time, it's a tool. You can't just take away a tool from somebody's arsenal because then that helps somebody who's built their arsenal off of that tool. Jesper Svensson, I've never really seen him throw another ball besides urethane.
Yeah.
I was going to say pitch black and 78U. That's the only thing I've ever seen that guy throw.
Yeah. And he's like old school with it, urethane. So it's like, it's just to his advantage to make him, if they ban it in the PBA, which I hope they don't, but if they do, you're hurting him. You're hurting Jacob Buttroff. You're hurting a lot of people who need something that early because Steve could testify to this. Being on the left side is vicious. It's not all fun, because it's a gift and a curse. Yes, when the shot is there, you're there by yourself all day. You're going to light everybody up. But when it's not there, you need something that's going to help it move. And urethane is just that ball on the left side that helps make things move. It's a tool, so it shouldn't be punished because somebody made it look bad.
Agreed.
Butchie, all I'm saying is it's very, very rare that he has something other than urethane in his hand. That is his 1A, 1B, and 1C.
I mean, I've seen him throw other stuff, but when it's mainly him in the finals, he's got urethane in his hand. He's got
Butcher's
urethane.
the same way.
Yeah, Buttress.
No,
is definitely
Butcher's the same way. When it comes down to the game on the line, there's urethane in his hand. You don't see resin in his hand unless he has to go to resin.
Yep. But I do agree with your
last resort
assessment and using it as a tool, because I'll use it for carry. I'll use it to intentionally put carry down lane, because I'm a guy that's got a lot of hand. So I'll put the carry down, and then I'll use the carry down for hold. So if I miss right, it's going to sit and spin and still hit the pocket.
Yeah, and see, it's not a tool for everybody, because it's funny you said that, because I didn't know if you had a lot of hand or not. I have a left-handed friend who doesn't have a lot of hand, and me and him almost got to the point where we wouldn't even talk. I didn't talk to him for almost like 10 months because I was telling him, like, DJ, you don't need a urethane ball. And he was like, why? Everybody else is using it. I said, you have to understand, Juan Costin, who was a guy I mentioned earlier, is a two-handed lefty. His rev rate is like 560. Your bowling ball reacts based off of the input you put into it. So urethane works for him. I said, your rev rate is like 200. You don't need a urethane ball. All it's going to do is go way down. And if you do get it to move, the moment you lose that carry down, lose that reaction, you're going to be lost, and it's going to kill your game. And that happened. It happened to him numerous times where he would have the front five and then stop. Or he'll have the like 7 in a row, then stop. Reaction's completely gone. I'm like, that's because you don't need it. It is a tool for a specific situation. And if you have the hand for it, it works even better. If you don't, you shouldn't even have it in your bag, because it needs some type of input in order for it to move.
Well, and in that case, with a lower rev rate stroker type player, if he wants a urethane look, short pinned, big ace, big strong ace in.
Yes.
Get
Exactly
the core
that.
to lay down faster and smooth roll it.
Yeah, because you need it to move. Urethane, once it hooks, it's it. It's all about energy transfer. If there's no energy in the ball, how it's going to match what you're going to Doctor Strange it and make it magically appear down the lane, and like it's not going to hook. You're going to look at it, and you're going to be like, oh, it's going to hook now. No, it's not. It's just going to keep on going. It hooked about 30 feet ago, and now it's done. No, so yeah, it's definitely something that everybody needs to understand how to use it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. I voted for a uniformed requirement. If you're going to make the requirements and you're going to allow it, it needs to be. I voted for 78U top to bottom. If you're going to make the requirements and you're going to allow it, it needs to be. I voted for 78U top to bottom, no variance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Carver, you were going to say something. I don't know what you was going to say.
Maya, she asked about shorter pattern. In other words, I don't know if she knows there's difference between house shot and sport shot.
So that is a great question, and that is definitely what most people who use urethane with hand use it for, because it controls the back end. Just think of it as a rev limiter. If you understand cars, cars these days, or even maybe back in the day, I don't know. I'm a car guy, but I don't know how to fix one. Used to have limiters on it to where it would only go a certain speed. You take the limiter off, or you change the ECU in the computer of a car, all of a sudden the car goes faster. Like the urethane ball on a short pattern is like a limiter. It's gonna hook early, but then when it does move, it's not gonna move more than that. It's just gonna do exactly that thing because it hooks so early. Where you have resin balls that have the limiter taken off, and it just, when it hits the dry, it does that, takes off. And it's uncontrollable. Urethane gives you that control, Maya. It gives you the control on shorter patterns or even longer ones, because you don't necessarily want the ball to overhook down lane. And if you're accurate enough, you can get that ball to hold line all the way down and turn into the pocket. You can do some damage with it because you're so direct, and all that energy is going into the pocket, into the pins, which is why Jesper Svensson destroys the pins when he's using urethane, especially on longer patterns, because it's hard to beat him on that. If he can get a look, that is, because he still has to make it there, and he doesn't make it there all the time because lefties do have that curse where it's just, if it's bad, it's bad.
Right.
Yep. If you're not going to match up with it and you're on that side on a desert island by yourself, good luck.
Pretty much. Mark Dillon made a good point. Yeah, like you said, short pins, big valve angles, all that works for if you can't use a urethane, put it on a big ASM, short pins. I mean, Mo Pinnell was on to something when he was talking about short pins for the time that he was talking about before he had passed during the COVID years. And no, I watched his videos a lot. I learned a lot from his videos, just reaction and how you should set up your equipment and the different purposes of layouts. That was like a golden age of just learning, and I'm sad that we don't even have that much anymore. We have some people doing it, but he really put it in perspective where you could understand what those things.
What I loved about Mo was they said, okay, we're outlawing balance holes, and Mo just said, all right, hold my beer.
I'm gonna design a ball that doesn't need it. That's innovation that these days we don't see that much anymore because everybody wants to make it simple. Now we have AI cores that are being designed by a computer, which makes the job easier, but there's no real thought process behind it. It's okay, plug in some numbers, make it do this, and then boom, now you have a new core. Like, where's the creativity? Like, where's the cores that work? Bring those back.
It's Mo Pinnell. He founded the company Mo Rich, and then he partnered with Phil to put Radical on the map.
Pretty much.
Yep.
All right, night, Foster. Have a good night.
It doesn't matter if you're not releasing the ball right. That's a good one. That's a good one. Doesn't matter.
Which is true.
Absolutely. And his son Mikey had a great YouTube channel for a while called Bowling Science, and if you want to look at some of his old videos, he shows his entire transition from one-handed to two-handed. He talks about the short pin layouts, the benefit of short pin layouts. He did a lot of really good stuff on his YouTube channel before he decided to step away for a while.
Yeah, but he does have his YouTube page, not YouTube, his Facebook page, which I frequented a lot because you get a lot of good information from there. I do like that page a lot, and I'm not mirroring Stream after, because Stream is more of a, like I said, it's a challenge platform, it's a competition platform where it's not just education, it's more along the lines of challenge yourself mentally to see what you can do, post these scores on our website online, and then see if you win. We do give out prizes here and now and again, but it's mostly about mindset. But I like Bowling Science to think, because he goes deeper into stuff, and that's what we need. We don't really have coaches like that anymore. It seems like they're going to the wayside of point, look, and shoot, and that's it. They keep it really simple. We don't have Mark Baker? We don't have many of them around. So people like that, I watch faithfully on YouTube. This is like, you're gonna learn something, and it's the old school bowlers that are teaching it. It's not too much the new school. It's the old school bowlers. And I say this all the time. It's like, technology is great. It's a great thing to help make things easier. But if you don't have the basics and the foundation built already there to be able to do certain things, then having technology is a crutch. It's just not going to help you, especially when it gets down to the nitty gritty of really knowing what you have to do. And some people just rely on that. If you were to take away reactive resin, a lot of people would be in trouble. I came up in an age where reactive resin was just coming out. So urethane was still a thing back when I first started bowling. So it's like, you had to place your shot. No, I know bowling alleys that used to put ball patterns out with the dang on spray can. And it's like, okay.
I was saying,
that's the old school right there.
The old oil can and the brush mop.
Yeah, the old oil can, and then have the mop. Yeah, I was like, I've seen that. And it's like, yeah, bowl on that, and come out here and bowl on this. You're going to see a big difference.
Oh yeah,
A huge difference. It's going to definitely challenge you.
And another great learning resource, like you said, from the older generation, is Bowling U. Brad Angelo's setup. He does really good work, especially with like the junior gold people. Like he invests a ton of time with the junior gold kids and getting them to improve.
They're definitely improving. Them junior gold kids are they're monsters. I know one I don't know if he went to junior. I don't think he won, but he's currently a collegiate bowler right now. We call him Moose down here in the South. Dude he used to bowl for Weber International. Now I think he's bowling from one of them schools in Oklahoma. I'm not sure the name of the school, but awesome bowler, awesome bowler. But it's like the lessons he's learning and everything. It's coming from the older generation that knows all these different little tips and tricks and things that you could do to actually just manipulate a ball and use the same ball. And this kid could just go out there and wail on the pins. No, I think he tried his run at the Masters. I don't know how far he got. I think he got maybe close to match play, but no, that's just experience. No, learning how to get yourself there and putting yourself in that situation. But man, I just love the older generation. One of my favorite bowlers is Parker Bone. Actually met him in person when he was doing a tour, and he actually came down here to the base at Keesler, and that hour and a half, 2 hours was the greatest learning experience that I've had when it came to a professional critiquing my game. And there's a lot of stuff I took from it. There's a lot of stuff that I had picked out. I was like, okay, I don't know if that's going to work for me. I'm going to leave that alone. But one thing he did make sure is like, you have to stay really balanced at the line, or at least make sure your foot stops. And I had a bad foot wobbling problem where my foot would change directions in, and I worked on it to the point where if I am off balance, my foot is still in the spot that I needed to be on. And he drilled that in me for that hour and a half. I was like, okay, I hear what he's saying. I saw it. I shot 299 right in front of him. And it was like, that was just a small change.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay. He's like, I would love to have another session with him again, just because, the knowledge is great when it comes from these older bowlers.
It's crazy how much balance can add to your accuracy of your shots. Across the board. Yes,
he
absolutely.
Told us a story. He said before Jason Belmonte went big, he had a session with him where he told him, because if you go back and watch Jason Belmonte early in the PBA, he wasn't always balanced at the line. He was real shaky. And he said he told that to Jason. It's like, if you were to steady yourself at the line and keep your head still and make everything just balanced, like, you will be that much better. And Jason went and worked on it, and all of a sudden you seen him destroy.
Blow up. Yeah.
He just blew up, and it was like, wow. I was like, so the tip that came from him helped him. It was like, yeah, okay. Like, these bowlers really know. There's definitely a difference between pro and amateur and our level. And it's like, I wish and Stream's goal is to try to make that gap closer, because I don't think the current administration is really trying to make it closer. It's pay your fees, do this, blah, blah, blah. They have programs, but it's like nothing's really pushed. It's more of a, like, the whole thing about harder shots. Okay, what happened to the USBC white, white, and blue patterns? They just where the Pepsi was the sponsor and all this stuff, and hey, we got these new patterns, and all of a sudden now we don't see them anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we coming up with things and then we're just throwing them out? No, I mean, I like the fact that bowlers are bowlers, but bowlers are babies. They want to be baby. They want to see the ball strike. Sometimes that's not what it's about. I'm for the earn it, make them work for it. No, it shouldn't be that. No, it shouldn't be that easy. No, it wasn't easy when I was younger. So as I'm getting older, it's like the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And it seems like that work ethic is kind of gone from a lot of people. I know a lot of bowlers who just bowl once a week or rarely practice and then go to a tournament and mad because they wasted their money. It's like, well, I recently witnessed a tournament where I have this bowler that I know, youth bowler, who just stepped up to adults, and he was struggling. And he was like, man, I don't know what I'm doing. I was like, I can get it to the pocket, but I can't strike. He's left-handed, two-hander. And Cam Crow, PBA professional, was there with, I don't know if you know House Mouse, Jared. I think it's Jared Capper is his name. He was there with Justin Pick. I think it's Pick. Something starts with a P, and it's one other guy. And it was a scratch tournament. It's this 6-game tournament we have down here, 4-man teams. And from the start to the finish of qualifying, these dudes ran the dang tournament, had it locked out by the third game by 300 and something pins. And I told him, It's like you see those guys. Those guys are professionals. Like the rest of these people out here are trying to keep up with them. They had
Right.
it locked out in the third game. It's like he's like, how high are they? I'm like, they're 300 plus. Even if they bowl a bad game, they could bowl two bad games and still hold first. And he was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"What?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's the type of scores you got to put up when you're bowling against professionals." And
Right.
he's like, "Dang, we don't even stand a chance." Well, no, you don't. No, you don't. Once I seen Cam Crow in the building with the dudes he was bowling, I'm like, these dudes about to have a field day. And sure enough, they did. I think they walked out with what 2.5K each. Then two
I was
weeks
gonna say
later, we go
it's one
to
of those where
Solo
you just
win 10K. Like
pack it up and
it's
go
a
home.
shame you can't keep up because yeah, they're out there doing it, but the programs that you had, you wanted to be Olympic sport. Why isn't it more, regulated? Why isn't it more put to a point where actually people are challenged? People are made to see, hey, this is what bowling really is. So when they go out there to the USBC Nationals, they're not quitting the second game, packing their stuff and walking out. Because I seen that my first time too, and I was like, this dude's really. I'm like, what is he doing? Guy is literally packing his stuff up with 4 games to go in singles and doubles and walked out. I'm like, you came all the way to Vegas just to quit? This is
Hmm.
not about quitting. This is grind. Grind it out.
Right.
Like too many people are infatuated with the high numbers. And it's like I wish that would kind of change to, hey, let's not mind being humbled and go from there and grow your game. Because you'll be surprised if you bowl on hard shots all the time and you go out there against these other people in a regular house shot, you're gonna destroy. You're going to absolutely destroy. But then if you do that with everybody, the playing field is level. But you have certain houses like I know up north they probably put. I'm not sure if they put hotter houses shots or not. I think they put more oil than they do down here in the south because down here we don't believe in oil. That or it's so hot. I don't
Yeah.
know. If you bowl down here in the south, you would find most houses don't put a lot of oil.
Yep.
Well, and
It's very dry.
that's the other easy thing to do to help regulate the environment and put more of the give more people a shot, even on house shots. Start oiling boards 1 through 3 again.
Yes. Take away the break point. Make them earn it. Make them play straight. I'm all for that. I am all for that because it will definitely teach you to bowl better. There's a lot. You'd be surprised how many bowlers are out there. They are infatuated with hooking the ball, but you ask them to throw it straight. What is that? They,
Right.
they don't. They can't spell straight ball. They hook at everything. So it's like take that away. See how much better you get when you learn to throw it straight, because then you know how to apply it to your strike ball. You learn the angles, but like I said, it has to be regulated. No, that's something
Yeah.
me and my buddy Geek, who's my partner with Stream and helping me help that grow along with other people. That's one of the things we believe is, hey, you got to make it harder if you want people to get better. You can't
Right.
just expect it to be easy and then people still want to complain about the handicap. Like, that's a whole other thing. If you're giving up all this handicap and the handicap bowler sees this 230 average bowler, which is the whole purpose of Stream, I've had handicap bowlers beat scratch bowlers in a challenge a few months ago. Beat them outright scratch.
Yeah.
So it's like you can do it, but you see that number and you think, I'm gonna. I need help. That's fine. You can get the help, but you're not gonna get the help on an easy shot. Like those two don't go together. You're
Right.
getting
And
help on an easy shot.
I like what Dillard said here too. He said, "Don't give them as much buff distance so their ball doesn't slow down and watch the anger come out." That's another
Yeah.
thing you can do with
Yeah.
the regulations and just simple little changes to a house oil pattern to lower the scores and bring the competition back to a center line.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, even think about it. Average. You want to say you want to do this handicap. People talk about handicap out of 230. Why? Why? If you go and unless it's a scratch league where everybody's 200 plus, most of your normal leagues, if you go in and actually do the math and do a league average of all the bowlers, and I've actually took the time to do this one time, actually a couple of times, because I'm that type of person. The league average came out to be 190.
Yeah.
And that's with 8 bowlers averaging 230, and I think another 7 or 12 bowlers
Jesus.
averaging 220. 190 was the league average. Why are we taking handicap out of 230
Yeah.
when most of the league averages well below. It should be just 200. There we go. Boom. You get 90% of that. No, I shouldn't need another person to beat you on my team. And that's what a lot of the scratch bowlers are seeing. We see 250, we got to beat 250. That's a whole other person.
Yeah.
If one of us don't shoot, that's game over. And it's like, it's not fun anymore for the scratch bowler. But then the complaint from there is, oh, well, you guys are just going to outright beat us. Okay, solve the problem. Make the shot harder. Because it's going to be harder for me. It's also going to be harder for you. And then that'll justify you getting that 230, that high handicap, because you're not going to score as high. You're going to need it to win because I'm going to have a better chance of beating you. Like, but
100%.
You're keeping up with me on an easy shot, and then you're complaining about not getting enough sticks, but you're keeping up.
Yeah.
You're dropping the ball on 10. It just walks in the pocket, and you're getting 5 strikes in a row. This happen. We've all seen this happen if we're scratch bowlers.
Oh, yeah.
We've all seen this happen. The ball, and if one person gets on fire, literally lights your team up, and you're like, what can we do?
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure
Yes,
we all
I mean-
had that what can I do moment.
Like I said, you want to bring par back to
You bought a what,
Go ahead,
324?
you
Go
want to
ahead,
bring
Steve.
par back to 200. Those are the two things you do. You reduce the buff distance and you oil boards 1 through 3. All of a sudden, your par's back to 200.
PBA's 200.
Yeah,
thinks
PBA needs to be
bowler.
220 to be par, really. But
It should be because everybody's good. But
Right.
why, if they're partnered with USDC, why can't that just be the thing? Everybody's required to be out of this. No more of this. The league decides, because it always creates an argument. You know, it always an argument, and it's like I walk out. It's like I don't even want to hear this part of it because it's like, can we just get started bowling? Can we just let's not even discuss this, because you're going to have one side that wants it and the other side is going to fight, and then it turns into a 30-40 minute argument about nothing. There's just to me, if I was a proprietor, it would be a harder shot. You have no choice in the matter, and the shot is going to change every quarter. It's going to change every 3 months or however long your league runs, because once you get used to this shot, okay, I'm going to change the shot up. And you're going to thank me later, because when you go to one of these tournaments to put out one of these easy shots, you're going to sit in there shooting 260, 250 and something and winning all this money. You're like, I'm a great bowler. Oh, no, it's just your proprietor actually cared enough to challenge you and make you a better bowler. You got to thank the proprietor. If the proprietors ain't doing it, and, of course, their argument is money, oil costs and blah, blah, blah. So it's a never-ending cycle of excuses and opinions, and everybody got one. So we're at where we're at in this bowling community.
Right.
I agree.
What are your thoughts on string pins?
I think that is a secret cheat code that EJ Tackett has discovered and has used it against the rest of the PBA and decided to beat ass. He literally put foot the ass last season, and it wasn't even funny how much foot the ass he put. But literally, it was like, okay, it's like, where is this accuracy coming from? But then when they had that special that they did, and it was at his bowling string pins, he was still striking like he normally does on the regular free fall. I was like, oh, that's his secret, because you have to strike a certain way on the string pins, and if you have to strike that way on string pins, it's going to strike on free fall. And I think it's a cheat code. I mean, people are hating on it because of the issues you see with the mini bowling. You get stuck, and then you got to wait for somebody to come fix it, and it becomes annoying. But if they're actually efficient machines that run well and are well maintained, and somebody's watching them, then hey, if it helps you get better, why not? No, it definitely. I mean, it's definitely harder, and the pros have proved it the last season. It's harder to strike on string pins than free fall for some reason, which you would think it wouldn't be, but it is. But it's also easier to pick up splits too, because if you learn the trick to get that string wrapped around,
Yeah.
So it's also a cheat code that way too. But as far as like striking, I think it's a perfect training tool. If you can strike consistently on string pins, then you should have no problem striking on free fall.
Yep, I agree with that.
As per Matt Rowan says, he's bowls on they fix themselves. Yeah, they don't need a mechanic. Now that part sucks, because now you have somebody who's out of a job, who actually went to train to learn how to fix these machines. No, that part sucks. But that's this is the technology and world we're in. Technology always comes in and removes the person that has the job to fix it. So it sucks on that part. But as far as efficiency and like for us experience, I think it's a great thing. I
Yeah, I
don't think
mean, and at the end of the day, you still have to have someone watching the string sets. It's not like they're going to miraculously untangle themselves. Sometimes the machine can do it, but that's not all the time. So
Yeah, no. I mean, I have yet to bowl on the new ones. I've bowled on the toy ones. You know, you go to little arcade and they have the mini bowling ones, and I throw the little ball and they get all strung up because I'm used to throwing a bowling ball, not this little thing. So it's like go flying everywhere. It's very satisfying to watch, but then it's annoying at the end. But I think if they really, I mean, they've already proved it, and I do like the fact that you get out of league faster. Um, Especially when they're well maintained, is like league goes by way quicker because the resets are just that much faster than the regular free for all. And then you
right.
also got the no, they do have to change them out from last time I researched them. Like after so long, you got to take them off and then check the strings, calibrate them, and then also rotate the pins around so it's always not the same ones getting beat up all the time. So there
Right.
is maintenance to it, but I
Correct.
don't think it's a money grab because it's saving money on one end, but at the same time, it's saving time. No, as bowlers, I think of the challenge that it presents. So for me, it's not a problem. But that we haven't got string pins down here yet, so it might be another 10 years before I see a string pin down here in the South. No, we're a little behind down here.
Do you have a lot of boleros near you?
So there's a Bolero in Mobile because I'm in Mississippi. There isn't one in Mississippi. There's of course the big one right over there in New Orleans in Kenner. That's the largest one for a while. I think, of course, Texas they have a bunch of Boleros, so over that way. But as far as Mississippi, I think you can count on two hands how many bowling alleys Mississippi has. And I'm on the coast, so there's one, two, three, four on the coast. As you go up, I think there's one in Hattiesburg. There's like two in Jackson. So yeah, as you go up, there are not many bowling alleys in Mississippi. And so Bolero is not a thing that you hear of in Mississippi. We don't have the Bolero problem, but we're not far from one. I mean, New Orleans has the biggest one that we have, and the biggest bowling alley and the largest one in a long while because although the bowling alleys around there are smaller, so they get a lot of business in New Orleans. Katrina kind of did that when
Yeah.
Katrina came. She knocked out a lot of the bowling alleys that we had. But New Orleans used to have at least 8 bowling alleys, but when Katrina came, she took out a lot of them. So we were left with just the one in Kenner because Kenner didn't really get hit that bad. The West Bank ones, they both got destroyed. One got some damage, and the people took the insurance money and ran. Didn't bring
Yeah.
it back. The one that we had out in the east, that one got flooded. And then all the ones out in the surrounding suburbs and stuff, they got flooded out. So there's not many bowling alleys around here that didn't take too much damage and survived. I think we just got a new one back in I think it's Mandeville, which is about 45. No, it's about an hour and 15 minutes away from me. And even that still isn't like as big as Bolero. And so there's only one Bolero, but that Bolero in New Orleans is making a lot of money. It's making a lot of money because the only other bowling alley in New Orleans, I think, is Colonial Lanes, and they're small. They're very small. They're only 24 lanes. They have more family fun leagues, so everybody goes to Bolero. So when it comes to leagues, they have leagues. They have leagues every day of the week, I believe, but no, they care about the money first. So it's once it's recreation time, it's recreation time. They don't care about anything. Any bowlers that come there to practice, if they got stuff going on, you ain't getting on a lane if they got a full house. And I'm pretty sure most of the time, even for the last 10 years, 20 years since Katrina came, they stay full because they're the only large bowling alley in New Orleans. And even in the area, because, I mean, if you go to Baton Rouge, I mean, Baton Rouge has All-Star, but they're not Bolero. But even Baton Rouge used to have 3 bowling alleys. They're now down to 1. So bowling down in the South is not a big thing. No, SEC is. I mean, the SEC is great, we have LSU and everybody else, but when it comes to bowling, no. No, bowling it falls by the wayside when it comes to the South.
And we're actually going to be there's a house here not too far from me called Spares, and that just came up this last week that they're selling, and it's a 60 lane house. And what do they put? What do they put in there?
Bolero.
Nope. Storage unit.
Oh
Yep.
God, that's even worse.
That's what happens.
Like
We had a fifth one down here, and that's what happened to the one that we had in Gulfport. It got turned into a storage unit.
yep.
So it's just it happens, and it happens more so down here. And bowling leagues is not a big thing down here. It's very few of us that rave about bowling down here. Everybody else is more SEC football or Go State or whatever down here in the South.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're pulling basically 10 million off that deal just for storage units.
Wow.
And I'm sure they're going to probably try to liquidate some of like their lanes and stuff like that because they literally just replaced the lanes less than 2 or 3 years ago. So the lanes are like practically brand new.
Yeah, I know. Not Katrina, but a couple years ago there was a hurricane that hit Houma, which is not. It's about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours from where I'm at. They didn't even rebuild their bowling alley. And Houma had 2, and one of them just completely closed down. Sold all their lanes, pin machines, everything to another bowling alley that was opening up in I think Washington State or something like that. They just completely got rid of their stuff because, like I said, this is down here. It's not a business that a lot of people grow and get a lot of money from unless you're a Bolero. If you're Bolero, yeah, I mean that's why they don't need to put another one down here because New Orleans is the largest city closest to us, and they haven't built another bowling alley since, and it's because that one bowling alley probably as much money as a few of them in one city makes because there's just so many people going to that one. No, I think at one point the one in New Orleans was probably one of the highest earning ones for a while because it's the only bowling alley. And the only one that opened back quickly.
I do apologize, guys. I got a lot of stuff going on, so.
Oh, you're all right, dude.
You don't have to
I know what's
apologize.
going on.
I mean, life, like I said earlier, life be lifing. Things happen.
Yep.
You got things you got to do. No, I've been sitting in an emergency room for the last 5 hours earlier, so it's like, hey, I'm running on fumes, kind of sort of. So it's like, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, no, Cobes, you're good, buddy.
And the wife, her aunt passed away today, so she's up north. So communicating with her and everything else going on, it's been
Yeah, you've been having a day.
Yeah. Totally understandable.
I don't know if that question's for me, Matt. I don't have one anymore. I had the Swag Ace, and it's the It's for me. So I had the Swag Ace. It was a trial ball because I don't know if you know Patrick Roper. He talked me into getting one. He's Mr. Swag, and I got it drilled that day and shot 837 with it. And then the very next time I threw it, I shot 244 with it, and then I didn't throw it anymore after that. And it wasn't the ball. The conditions at the house that I bowl at changed to where whenever I used it, it just went way too far down the lane. And then when it hooked in behind the head pin. I wouldn't carry. I would be lucky to not leave a split. And it didn't matter what surface I put on it. It just would not move for whatever reason. So I was like, that's a shame because that ball out the box, fresh off the press, 837, first game 300. I was greatly impressed. No, will that be the last one I have? No, I don't think so. No, I think with this new rebrand, which I believe what Bowler Smart is doing is they're catering to the United States audience with the type of reaction that Swag gives to make it more like the USA type stuff. Because honestly, I didn't see a problem with the older stuff. It just made you play straighter. And what's wrong with that? I didn't see a problem with that. So with this newer stuff that's coming out, I am actually itching to try it. I've been eyeballing the Unreal for a while, but I had a recent injury back in April, so I had tore my bicep, so I had to sit back out for a while. I just started practicing 2 weeks ago, and I'm changing a lot of stuff about the way I release the ball, how I'm coming out of the ball. So it's a lot of info gathering right now to what works, what doesn't work, what do I need in my bag. From what I'm seeing in my research so far, though, is I'm definitely going to need a weaker piece. So the Unreal and that Craze hybrid are definitely on my radar. The only reason I would probably not get the Craze hybrid is because that Crown Victory, whatever it is a very good piece in that particular lineup in that spot. So I'm not sure if I would get that, but the Unreal would be like a backup too. I have a Ebonite real time, and which is a much stronger ball as far as differential. So I think the real time will be a good step down from that, and a good step like starting off ball in case the lanes are flying. So it's either going to be the Unreal or Craze that I get. I'm just not sure which one I'm going to get yet.
Yeah, in my opinion, the Unreal is a great freaking benchmark because you throw it one shot and it's going to tell you whether you need to ball up or ball down.
Yeah. No, and I'm not afraid of the whole solid polish thing. I think that's actually quite interesting for my style, how I throw the ball, because I like the brutal collision, which was like one of the first versions of it, where it's solid that's polished, and I always tend to either gravitate towards bowling balls being finished around 4K. Not sure why. I mean, it's either 2K or 4K. Polish, I always hit it with a 4K pad. I never leave anything fully polished because I never get a good reaction out of it. I like to have some type of consistency out of it. So I think I'll probably, if I do get the Unreal, I probably would crack the surface with a 4,000 pad and just leave it alone and go from there.
Yeah, I just cracked mine with a 4,000, and I'm actually going to bring it down to a 3,000 because before I started throwing the Unreal, all of my benchmarks were at 3,000, and I'm like, okay, well, if this is my benchmark piece, why is this not at 3,000? So I'm going to lower it back down to 3,000, and then it's going to be my true benchmark. Hey, this is going to tell you which direction you need to go, or if you're going to be okay starting off with it.
Yeah, and I think the Unreal is going to be that for me when I do make my decision because in learning and because basically I used to come around the ball a lot. I have I kind of call it a snap release where I'm behind the ball, but by the time I release the ball, it's already off my hand so fast that it's just revving up. But I have accuracy issues, especially down here in the South because there's not a lot of oil to help the ball skid. So before my injury, unless I had a good bit of oil to get the ball down to the break point, it either would hook too early or if I overcorrected, it'd go down too far. And it was constantly an adjustment battle. No, I'm constantly, you can ask Geek, if you know who Geek is, I'm constantly in my head having to figure out what is it that I need to do to get to the pocket. And that takes away from bowling. That takes away from making good shots because you're constantly calculating, thinking, and then doubting, is this shot going to come back? Should I switch? And it's too much. So in the last 2 weeks, I've recently just went to much straighter release, much more up the back of the ball. I'm not even coming around the side of it. I'm just rolling it flat off my hand. I did have plans on changing my pitch, but I don't think I'm going to do that in my thumb because I have a forward pitch in my thumb. So that helps in getting the ball off my hands so fast. So now that I'm just changing the direction to more forward, I'm seeing a more controlled reaction, which I knew that before, but bowlers being stubborn, we don't listen to our own advice. So I'm actually sticking to it and starting to see that 2,000 is a little too early. Too early. I don't have enough oil down here to use 2,000 grit. Doesn't mean I won't need it because I do have a heckler sitting in the closet that I need to get re-drilled. It's really just fine tuning what surfaces are going to work, and then from there, which bowling balls. Which, looking at from what I've seen the last week of this past level of practice, I was in my Hellcat and I was left of 25 very quickly, and that's not a place that I want to be very quickly because I start losing carry, and then I have to start coming around the ball, and that causes a whole bunch of different type of crazy reactions. Like when I say that I come out the ball fast and roll it off my hand fast, like even if I come around it slightly, the ball will literally jump off the spot. And so I'm trying to just eliminate that. So I'm looking at, from what I'm gathering, more mid-price pieces. So that's why the Unreal and Craze came up. I was like, those are probably one of the two I get if there are swag. I'll probably get all three because from what I can tell, I think the Crown Victory is a little bit stronger than that Craze hybrid, but I don't need multiple hybrids. But one thing I do like about both of them, they're reminiscent of one of my favorite balls, which is the Storm Frantic. Came out, I think, 2009. Randy Peterson said that was one of the most sexiest balls ever made. That was also the "Who do you think I am" ball that Pete Weber threw and struck and won the Masters with. That ball was awesome, but the numbers in that ball were very specific, 255 or something like that. It was like 043, and that Crown Vic and the Craze are close to those numbers. So they're really appealing to me when it comes to what I'm trying to do with my game going forward. And to answer your question, Butchie, well, he said for all y'all, he said $1,000 half court shot or strike for $1,000 100-foot lane. I started off playing basketball, so I'll take that $1,000 half court shot any day. I started basketball was the first sport I learned to play, so
I'll take the risk with the rock in my hand. Give me the 100-footer.
Yeah, the 100-footer. If I put a little bit of hand on it, it's off. I ain't striking. I'm gonna go with what I know I can actually do consistently. But yeah, it's definitely a great time for me. I think with all the changes that I'm making, like he was my PSO talking about, oh, change this, change that, and after the bowling last 2 weeks, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna change that. I'm gonna keep this because it's like I don't want to have to go learn through a whole new fit. I'm just gonna tell him, look, remeasure my PAP, drill it the same, and we'll go from there. Like, I don't want to change the thumb because the way I'm throwing the ball right now, the last 2 weeks, I like it. I really do. Especially when I'm in like I said, a lower piece. I have a 2.0 original that I put polish on, and that actually was really smooth. And I was like, okay, I'm liking this. And I had a 500 rev rate, but it's funny because I don't like to go left. I can't stand going left because it's just so many issues that come with going left for me. I actually score my best middle of the lane, 20, and between that range, 20, 25, that's why I score the highest. I mean, my highest sanction is 837, and I didn't move left to 27. I was right on 25 all 3 games with the ace. So it was like, yeah, this is great. I love this ball because I don't have to move. But no, I think they changed the shot. So it was like, oh, y'all bastards, you changed the shot on me. Because when I say it came with ease, that 837, it came with ease. I've never thrown an 800 that came with ease. No, my first 800 I think was 803, and I knew I had to strike out to do it.
Right.
And then after that, the other ones I did after that were kind of the same. I knew I had to strike out. This one, like the first game being 300, in my mind, normally I would have been like, oh, you got to do good. Every game was just like, I went 300, 239, and I was like, okay, just keep throwing the ball. And last game, 298. And then it was just easy. It was just real easy. So, I gave the swag away to a person who really did love it. I think they've been shooting good with it. So it went to a good home. But that is one ball that I did have to get rid of, too, because I dropped the 14 pounds, too. I did forget to say that. I was a 15-pounder. Now I'm 14 pounds. I'm just trying to prevent as much injury as possible. Not that I can't throw 15, but the 14s hit just as hard as the 15s. They're just as dynamic. So why stress my arm out even more? No, I'm getting up there in age. I'm about to be 40 in a few weeks. So it's like, yeah, let's make bowling a little bit easier and fun for myself.
How much did your average ball speed go up by dropping that pound?
So I have been experimenting with 14 pound for a while. It went up about a mile and a half an hour, depends on how I throw it, which is the biggest thing because I will put so much on the ball that the ball will slow down a lot. So my average speed with a 15 pound was like 16, and with the 14 pound, it was like 16-7. So for me, it wasn't really a big, huge difference, and I didn't feel the weight difference at all. Is just the way I used to come out the ball is just slow it down so much that I didn't see a huge difference. But as far as carry, I did see a difference. I didn't leave nearly as many 10 pins with the 14 pound versus the 15 pound, which is not surprising because I'm putting more force behind it. But it was a bit of a shocker considering that you're putting more speed, but you're also putting more rev rate too because it is lighter. I expected to leave a lot more 10 pins, but since I've used 14, and whenever I would go back and forth between the two, the 14 will leave a lot less 10 pins than the 15 pounder. For me, that is. I don't know about for everybody else.
So the bowling nerd, also known as Richie, he said you got similar ball roll to Alex on his page. He matched up very well with the Anger Solid.
Alex. Which Alex is he talking about? I hope it's not Alex Hambeck, because if it's Alex Hambeck, so there's a really good reason for that. But I'm pretty sure it's not the same. It's not the same person. But that's a little fun fact about me as well. Like, I'm not sure if you guys have Bowler's World in your guys' pro shops, but Alex Hambeck, who I think is the VP of Bowling World, he used to be my PSO when he was in New Orleans. So I used to go and whatever ball he didn't want, our fits was exactly the same. So if something he didn't want, it was like, "Hey, do you want that?" He's like, "Oh no, I give it to you $50, or I'll just let you have it." And then go that same night shoot 270 with the first time out. And he would look at me like, "You know what? Give me the ball back. This is not funny. How are you throwing it better than me?" I was like, "I don't know. Like, but I like getting free stuff or cheap stuff. So hey, keep on sending them my way." But no, he's if that's the Alex you're talking about, there's a really good reason for that. We do throw it the same. But I have to go to your page, Bowl Nerd, and check that out. But I've looked at the Anger Solid. I have an Infamous. I have an Infamous, the original one, just without that modified core in it. So
Yep.
I thought that would match up well for me. It didn't. It's a little too slow. And nothing wrong with it being too slow, but it makes it very situational. From my eyesight, I like to see it move. If it moves, I can make the adjustment. If it's too slow, I can't get that fine tune of adjustment to get it there.
Yep, same thing. I looked at that infamous core and looked at the numbers and went, put that ball in my hand, please. And threw it, did not like it one bit.
Yeah, it was. I like the colors. I like what Michael Holloman did with it. You know, he did really good with it. You know, just I got caught up in the whole thing, but then I got mine for free as it was plugged from my previous PSO, and I was like, "Well, you sure you don't want the ball?" I was like, "Okay." I went and tried it. No, I like the way it hits. It hits hard. It's just getting it to the pocket, you know. But with the way the changes I'm making, it might be something I can look into again because again, I'm looking for stuff to get down the lane and just move, and without me putting too much on it because that just opens up a whole can of worms that I just don't want to get back into again. And it's not even because of the injury. I don't think I injured myself from bowling. I think it was from me going to nationals the year before and me not paying attention to my injuries, which is a very important message, people who are watching. If you are hurt and you feel it and you know it, don't ignore it because that's what ended up happening to me. I went to nationals. That was my first time. It was at South Point. I didn't know that the dang on bowling alley plaza was about a half a mile walk from the hotel rooms. And I didn't get a locker to store my bowling balls in. So I dragged 6 bowling balls from the room all the way to the plaza and all the way back for them 2-3 days I was there. I even went to the separate bowling alley, and that's a walk. And came back, started league that year, and every time I bowled, my arm started hurting. Every time I threw the ball. It would go away after about 5 minutes of practice. Didn't even pay attention to it. Didn't just think it was something else. Went got it checked out once. No, you just let it heal. Okay, it took off for a couple weeks, went back, still have the pain, just kept on ignoring and kept on ignoring and kept on ignoring. And eventually, April of this year, threw the ball one time after shooting 267, go to throw one shot, pop.
Pop.
It popped. And I threw a strike, but I couldn't do nothing else after that. Then I figured I ain't see no bruising. I'll be all right. Went back and bowled that Tuesday. My whole upper bicep was purple. So, yeah, do not ignore your injuries. Please don't ignore them. They are telltale signs that something is wrong.
Mr. Dillard asked, "You like 4 3/4 to 5 1/4 pen to pat?"
You're like an inch too short.
Wow, really?
Yes, my PAP with the way I normally throw the ball before I made the change is 6 1/4 and 1 inch down.
No, he's talking about the pin to PAP. What distance what distance do you like?
Oh, so
I was
again,
gonna say if you were putting a 6-inch pin on a ball, good God!
I already have a 6 inch PAP, so I thought that's what he was saying. I thought he was asking, was it like that? No, I generally go with. So before I choose a pin to PAP, I kind of first research the ball I'm looking at. Where is it going to fit? And generally, I don't even go with 4. It's either going to be like in between. I either go 4 or 5. Because if I wanted to go longer, I get the 5-inch pin. If I wanted to start up a little bit sooner, depending on the type of ball, if it's a strong ball, I will probably get a 4-inch pin on it because I don't want to make it store so much energy to where it's under controllable down lane. I want to kind of get it to a roll a little bit sooner because that pin to PAP distance makes a difference in your reaction. So, 3.5 inches is max. I've had a ball at max, did not like it, and it was a ball that I really wanted. That was that Scandal Pearl. I don't know if you guys remember that ball. It was a great looking ball with the gold and the green and the charcoal. I wanted that ball for so long. Actually got it, and my PSO put it. He didn't discuss with me. He just put a 3.5 inch pin on it, and I could not use that ball for nothing. It was literally a dry lane ball. It wouldn't do anything on any type of oil, and I was like, I've seen this ball hook in everybody else's hands on YouTube, and if I go left to 25, that ball did not. It was a 10-pin ball if I got left to 25 and threw it out. So I don't go with 3.5 inch pins, but if it's a stronger ball, generally I would go with 4-inch. If it's more of a weaker ball, I would go with 5-inch. But that's probably about to change because I know my PAP is about to change. So I'll update you in the future on what that looks like because I have no idea what that looks like now. What's drilled on my bowling balls right now is most of them are either 5 or 4, to just answer that question. But what I prefer, I couldn't tell you until I actually get some of my newer stuff re-drilled and see what he comes up with as far as PAP and how that's going to work out for reaction-wise.
Do you have a least favorite bowling ball? Like a bowling ball, doesn't matter like how long ago. Could be
Ebonite Envious.
Ebonite what?
The Ebonite Envious. Or it's the NVS.
Yes.
But of course, it was play on words and letters, the Envious. And the reason why I hated that ball is because it was good for 2 months. I almost shot my first 300 with it. And then it stopped hooking. And when I mean stop hooking, I mean stop hooking. It would not hook anymore. And the crazy part is I had a Storm Agent. I don't know if you guys are bowling that long, but if you remember Storm, where they first came out with this reactor particle, which is the cover that they're using on the new Typhoon, the Storm Agent, that was actually a strong cover back then when the Storm Agent came out. I pulled that ball out, which was about 4 years old before the Envious came out, and that ball, I hooked it by about 10 boards. And I had not thrown that ball. So the question came, why is this ball not hooking, and it's brand new, and this ball is old, and it's still hooking? I didn't understand it. So from that point forward, I had never bought another Ebonite ball ever. So the real time that I have was actually given to me by a friend, and it was, trust me, it was a heartbreaking moment to say I actually have an Ebonite ball. I did not, when I say would not touch Ebonite with a 9-foot pole, no, I'm sorry, 9.5-foot pole, I would not touch an Ebonite ball because of that one ball. I would not touch it again. But I'm willing to try it again. I got a 1 reverb and I got the real time back there, so I hope they work, because if they don't, Ebonite is going to be on that list of never, ever, 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 ever again, because it was for a very long time. And it sucks because that ball followed up that I don't know if you guys remember the Total Envy, but the Total Envy was like, that ball was awesome. So I figured the NVS would be, even more awesome, but no, it was it was an utter fail. So yeah, that ball I hated with utmost distinction. Other balls I give a chance, and I re-drill or play around with the surface. I just give that ball away.
I would say, let's put it this way: the last Ebonite ball I owned was an Ebonite Apex Intensity.
Well, that's old. that's back there. Yeah. So
That's like 03, 04, 05 era.
well, and Mark Dillon saying GB5s are awesome. They are. The GB line is great. I've heard a lot of people like them. I just would not touch Ebonite. I'm sorry. It's like that MVS is like that bad taste in your mouth. You never go back to the restaurant again after you taste that one bad dish. It's like, I am never going there. That was that situation. I said I will never touch another Ebonite ball. But I have it now. I have it now. I have the real time, the one reverb. So I think those are going to fit well with what I'm trying to do. I hope they do. But like I said, if they don't, then yeah, Ebonite is definitely X'd off my list forever. Forever, ever. But yeah, that is the worst ball. I don't think there's even another ball that comes close to a second. I think that ball is that was it. I make most stuff work, but that ball it was good for 2 months, and after that, it was a nightmare.
Ebonite was
I tell you.
known for that at the time too. Their stuff wore out fast.
Yeah. Cobra, what you were saying?
I was gonna say, out of the Vibe series, the Bubblegum Vibe, that ball is actually pretty good.
Yeah, that ball is taken off, and they're selling a lot because I'm seeing pink all over the alleys lately.
Oh yeah, it's the new hot color.
It hits hard for a Vibe ball. I mean, it's got more hook than all the other ones. I
Yeah, I
mean,
was gonna say it's probably the most aggressive vibe I've seen.
That's because it has the HK22 Pearl on it, right? The HK22C. So yeah, that's definitely. It was bound to do it. It was just when. That solid version. I knew that solid version was going to be a bust. Anything with the dull solid HK22, it just doesn't hook enough. It hooks too early. But that Pearl HK22C is a whole different monster when it comes to hooks. So I was waiting for him to do it. I'm not surprised, and it seemed like the last few vibes have each gotten better than the last one. I had the Ocean vibe, which was my first vibe, and I liked it. I just didn't keep it for whatever reason. It just wasn't working. It wasn't working out or something. No, I don't know. I've had a lot of issues since I've been here in Mississippi because New Orleans I average 220 something. Go to Florida I average 220 something. I come to Mississippi I can't break 210. So something's definitely different in this place that I haven't figured out.
Well, I'll tell you what, brother. When I got 2.5 years, and then I'm moving to Mobile. When I move to Mobile, if you're still down there, we'll hook up.
Oh, we definitely will be here. Trust me, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
so I think the Arctic Vibe was one of the better vibes, but that Bubblegum Vibe is way better than the Arctic. I do know that from throwing both of them.
Yeah, I feel like every time they've stepped up each time they've released a new vibe.
Oh, yeah,
I can't stand. I do not like the radioactive vibe. I don't like that one. That one's terrible.
Nobody did. Nobody liked that one. Very, very few people liked that highlighter ball. No, they couldn't stand it. And even I bowled with Roger Patrick Bird, and he had one, and he didn't like it. And it's very hard for a lefty to find something that they don't like. But then, that ball just never really did move like. It was like, oh, it's a solid vibe. And it's like, oh, but it's got HK22 solid, and that ain't always the greatest combination we've seen unless it's got polish on it. Because if it don't have polish, it just doesn't move. Like, I think, doesn't the Outer Limits Solid have HK22?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Roger left, I think, one night he left like 8 or 9 7-pins. And, I mean, flush hits just would not carry. Switch to a different ball that was a solid, carry with that ball. It was like, the HK22C solid is just, when it doesn't have polish on it, it doesn't finish. It's for when you got a lot of oil. It's for that. But regular house shots is not very friendly unless you're like very straight. If you put any angle,
that HK22C solid is meant to dig and roll.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not on the right pattern for it to dig and roll, you're in corner pin hell all night long.
Yeah.
So Maya, the bubblegum vibe is a lot weaker than the Mania, but if you had to ball down from the Mania, I think the bubblegum vibe could fill that gap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Vibes have always been that ball that just you can go to, especially back like in the early 2000s with when they had the Cobalt vibe, they had the Ruby vibe, they
The
had
Onyx.
the Onyx. They had a whole bunch of different. You just grab that ball and grab a vibe, and you're just knocking the dang on pins down. I mean, vibes were very popular in the mid 2000s in New Orleans. There was a lot of people throwing either a vibe or that raw hammer anger. The different versions of those that they had. Like those were very popular back then. Those balls just a hit. So I'm glad that like Hammer. I think Hammer's gotten the formula. They're bringing back, or they're looking at what they used to have, and they're bringing some of that stuff back. Like if there's a ball I would want them to remake, it's the Jigsaw, and the Jigsaw corner, the white and blue one, because it looks so
See,
cool.
I got
Mine would be the
one.
Blade series. I want them to bring back the Blade series.
I've got a jigsaw puzzle here, corner. It was drilled for a left-hander. I can't throw it. That thing is wonky, but we have one sitting in here in the house. some guy
a good
gave it to
ball.
us, but I'm not left-handed, so I couldn't get it to move.
Good
Yeah, I
spare ball.
tried that. I had a friend, Mike, who was left-handed, and I said, "Let me try your special agent." It went in the gutter both times. It just did not want to move. I was like, you know what? Your stuff is cursed. I'm not using it no more. I can't get it to move.
This was my favorite raw. The pink,
Oh, the pink and
black
silver.
Yep. That's my favorite raw. Last time
I
I
was
threw it, I
partial
threw a
to the,
220 with it.
I was partial to the orange and black one.
I like the black one. I don't own one, but I've seen it thrown, and I like the reaction of the black one. It's pretty awesome. No, I'm trying to talk my friend into using it more often. Like we talk about arsenals all the time, and I'm like, that Black Hammer Raw needs to be in your bag all the time. And he's like, why? It's like because you're two-handed, and you don't need a really big ball when you're two-handed. When you have a rev rate of 5 something, you can make a lot of things work. No, hence EJ Tackett. He's throwing a dang on Super GT on tour.
Yeah.
He's throwing a Venom Shock, which is not a very strong ball. And he's making it wide. His rev rate is 500. He doesn't need to have a strong ball. No,
Right.
I used to be like that at one point. I used to only buy like mid-price bowling balls. 'Cause I had the hand to make it move. I don't need a super strong ball. No, especially being down here. And I think that's probably the problem is I got a lot more stronger equipment than I did back when I was averaging 220. It's like I think I got caught in the shiny bright light syndrome. It's like, oh, I got to get that one. And I got to get that one. It's like, oh, I got like 5 or 6 ASIMs that I don't all use. So that's probably what my problem is. Thank you guys. I think you just helped me solve my issues. 220 here I come. The new Steel Forge. I think that's going to be a hit. And the reason why it's going to be a hit is because it has the same cover as the Evoke Hysteria, which is probably one of the best Pearl ASIMs of this year. Just from watching it go down the lane and seeing how it reacts, I think the Steel Forge is just going to be number 2 right behind that. I think that Steel Forge, because of that cover, is going to make it just that good of a ball, even better. And I want to get an Evoke Hysteria so bad. But see, motive prices and the way I like to shop for bowling balls, they just don't line up.
Yeah, it's very
It doesn't
difficult.
coalesce.
Yeah.
they don't mesh well together. It's like, yeah, I got a $50 discount from Bowler's Mart, but it's like, okay. But that's still a lot for a dang on
Yeah, I
bowling
mean you're putting that back into drilling anyway, so like it's not. I mean, it's really not saving you really that much.
No, it's not.
Okay.
So I have not pulled the trigger on that. But the motor prices are just a little too high. A little too high for me.
But
So when
speaking
it
of
goes on
bull-
sale, I'll get one. But
speaking of bowling
before that,
balls,
no.
it's about time to do that.
Yes, sir.
So
It does sell though.
EJ will make anything sell. He'll sell the crap out of the Ascend. Just let him win a tournament with it.
Right.
That's all.
But that is going to be our cue to start wrapping things up because we got to do this bowling ball giveaway, and I've got like 5 hours of sleep last night, so my butt is tired and I'm ready to go to bed. So, any closing remarks from you go time? Other than go to RevTech Pro, get you some ball cleaner, support our man here.
So yeah, just those two things. Like look up Stream Bowling on Facebook. It is definitely the place you want to be. I'm gonna go out there and say it is the best bowlers community out there in the Facebook. One, there's no judging. Nobody is there to judge you or make fun like you see in some of these bowling pages. You ask a question, and the whole world is attacking you for asking a simple question. It's not like that. It's truly a community that we build each other up, and we are definitely there to help each other out. So definitely look up Stream Bowling on Facebook. Join us, participate in our events. Trust me, we're working on a live in-person event coming up soon, which probably is going to end up somewhere in Colorado because I have a lot of members that are joining from over there. So we're going to work that out. But try out our events. Trust me, you're going to have a lot of fun doing it. The process is very simple when it comes to turning your scores. We explain all that during our process when we're putting out challenges. That'd be the first thing I say is check us out on Stream Bowling. And, of course, RevTech Pro. No, it is my cleaner, yes, but I didn't make it to make money. I mean, everybody does stuff to make money, but I did it because I think it's something that can actually help the bowling community and help when it comes to bowling ball maintenance, because that is one of the few things that everybody kind of sleeps on when it comes to bowling is what type of cleaner are they using? Is their cleaner really helping getting their stuff clean and giving them that right reaction? And I can tell you this and guarantee it to you, RevTech Pro is that cleaner. I mean, I know there's a lot of competition out there with CTD and all that stuff, but give RevTech Pro a try. You will not be disappointed. Trust me. You will love it. And it smells awesome, by the way. I forgot to add that. It smells very good. It doesn't smell like chemicals. It smells like fresh island breeze or something like that. It is truly a good smelling product. So go check that out. And I appreciate you guys for having me on the show. It's been great talking bowling with you guys and getting back into the swing of bowling. With me being out for so long and y'all not seeing me on live anymore, it's like, what the hell happened to Go Time? Yeah, Go Time took a break. Definitely, I appreciate you guys for all that you guys do, and look forward to doing this again and possibly have you guys back on Let's Talk Bowling, which is going to be coming back out soon. Soon we'll be dropping those posts and stream for when we're going to be doing our show, which will be Wednesday for about 30 minutes, just to let you guys know what we're going to be doing for season 2.
I was going to say, I've been in the Let's Talk Bowling conversations.
Yes. So that is coming back on Wednesday. It's not going to be a long episode. It's going to be short just to get back into it. But after that, it will start being the hour-long show that we used to do.
Nice.
All righty. Well, we appreciate you coming in. It's definitely going to be one of those that we got to get you rescheduled for a follow-up.
Yes, sir.
I know we are booking into late September, early October right now. So it'll probably be like in the heat of fall season, which will be a great touchback to see how you're doing from your recovery.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
And we're going to go ahead and pull Rowan in so we can do this giveaway. And then we're going to get out of here. So
thanks
I
again
hope
for stopping in with us tonight, dude.
Oh, no problem. It's been a pleasure. I got some children to put to bed now, so I'll see y'all later.
All right, buddy.
Have a good one.
Have a good night, bro.
You too.
All right. Get the man. The man has come around. What up, brother?
What's up, fellas?
It is time. It is time.
It is that time.
I do hope this list is 100% accurate.
We've been pretty diligent on keeping it accurate. We did get everything from Brian's last minute promo.
Yep.
I've got everybody in for their bonus entries and the Black Sheep episode. You've got everybody from last week, so I think we're good.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, let's,
I was gonna say because I like I said, the past couple of days have been hectic and chaotic here. So let me turn off my green screen, see if it picks up. Turn my ugly face off. All right, can we
Holy
see that?
crap.
Look at all them entries, baby.
I love
Are we?
it.
All right, count it down, somebody.
Go ahead,
Matt, go
guys.
for it.
All right. Well, 3, 2, 1.
Good luck.
Spin it.
Here we go.
And the winner is Power
man.
Bowler. Congrats, Power Bowler.
Powerball. Is he still in here?
I think he had to ditch.
Yeah, I think he had to leave. I think he had a 11:30 start.
Is Tiffany on here? Tiffany. That is his husband. And I'm pretty sure I know where this ball is going, and I could not be happier for him.
Yeah.
She said, "Woke him up."
He just needs to get with me.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I-
reach out to Rowan, and he'll take care of it from there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
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 Mr. Rowan, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you
Absolutely.
for honoring your word. It speaks volumes to the swag character. We really do appreciate it, and thank you for having our backs.
Oh, always. Likewise, you guys. You guys have been good to me, so I mean, it's only fair.
Yeah, we really
But yeah,
appreciate
the
that.
next one, it's going to be on a different show, though.
Absolutely. Well, just have him get a hold of me, and I'll take care of him.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
All right, Tiff. You and Power Bowler and your son, who I have a pretty good feeling where that ball's going, are going to get great use out of it. And I could not be happier that you guys were the winner of the ball.
Absolutely. Well, you guys, peace. Love you guys.
Much love, Rowan.
All
Take
love,
care.
brother.
Bye.
We'll see, bud. Well, boys, great episode.
Hey, man.
Yes, sir.
Flawless. I love
We have our next guest next week, and I believe it is Queen Pin Tater. I
it.
believe
That's going to be fun.
so. And then I believe it's Strike Tyson the week after. So definitely stay tuned. We'll see you guys next Monday for sure.
Absolutely.
Before we head out, first of all, guys, I want to thank each and every one of you. You guys are the reason why this is being successful. Without you guys, we are nothing. We do appreciate it. We do like the likes, the shares. We love your content. We like reposting it. So keep posting and keep doing the thing, guys. We really do appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. And we are the living embodiment of a rising tide lifts all ships. So we're all growing together. This isn't just growing us and leaving you guys high and dry.
Absolutely. Well, until next time, throw the rock or kick rocks.
Or go kick rocks. All right. And I'm going to say, I said this almost every week, and it holds true, especially with the bond that we've grown over the last 22 episodes. There will never be a last time. So until the next time.
Colbert?
I'm staying in my approach, my lane, stay in yours.
Alrighty,
Absolutely.
guys. I will catch y'all later, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, y'all.